Hello my dear students. See, in the last class you have come across the concepts that what you will be knowing in the statistics for economics, isn't it? So now we shall know about the other part of first UC economics, that is Indian economic development. Okay, I said that you will be having two parts, isn't it? One is part A is statistics for economics and part B will be Indian economic development. Part B will be what? Indian economic development. Indian economic development. See, in this Indian economic development, you will be studying about 10 chapters. How many chapters? 10 chapters. Then how many units? See, these chapters have been divided into different units. In that unit, you will be having different chapters here. Okay. So, 4 units are there and totally 6 chapters you will be studying in this Indian economic development. So, now we shall know about what are the topics that you will be knowing in this. Okay. See, about this Indian economy you might have studied in a high school level, isn't it? So, during the independence and before the independence of India, what was the situation in our country? Then after getting independence, what was the situation? How was the things in our country? You might have studied in your earlier classes, that is in your high school level. So, now we shall know about the first PUC syllabus, in that about Indian economic development. See, in this you will be having the first unit as development policies and experience. Okay. So, first unit is what? Development policies and experience. In that the first chapter is Indian economy on the eve of independence. Okay. So, chapter 1 will be what? Chapter 1 will be Indian economy on the eve of independence. On the eve of independence. On the eve of independence. See, here you will be knowing about before independence what was the situation of our country. So, ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಸಿಗೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇತ್ತಪ್ಪ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ, ಜನಗಳ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊತೀರಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ of our country. For example, you can take low level of economic development under the colonial rule. So, in this you will be knowing about what? Low level of economic development under the colonial rule. Colonial rule means what? British rule ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ರೂಲಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ಆವಾಗ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ, ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಲೋ. ಅವ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಪುವರ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ನಾವು ಅಷ್ಟು ಆರ್ಥಿಕತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ತಾನೆ ಇದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ವಿ ವರ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ control of British people. So, we had to listen to their words. What they used to assign the work, only that much we used to do there. Then after that you will be knowing about the different sectors. What was the condition in different sectors, like agricultural sector. Okay. So, agricultural sector ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇತ್ತು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಅಂತ. Agricultural sector. Okay. Then about industrial sector. Then about industrial sector. Then what about foreign trade? What do you mean by foreign trade? ಸೊ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ when the buying and selling of goods are taking place between different nations can be called as what? Foreign trade. Trade andre gottu basically buying and selling of goods or services, exchange of goods or services between two parties, but that is between buyer and a seller, isn't it? That can be called as what? Trade. Then foreign trade ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ವಸ್ತು ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡೋದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಆಗೋದು. ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಅಂದರೆ? ಫಾರಿನ್ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ವೆನ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸರ್ವೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ದ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ನೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶದ ಜೊತೆ ನಾವು ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಖರೀದಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಆವಾಗ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಟ್ರೇಡ್. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಟ್ರೇಡಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಈವ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊತೀರ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಡೆಮೋಗ್ರಫಿಕ್ condition. Demographic condition. Okay, then after that you will be knowing about occupational structure. Occupational structure. Then about infrastructure. Okay, then about infrastructure. How was the infrastructure during the independence, okay, of our country? So about this you will be studying in this first chapter of Indian economic development, that is in the chapter Indian economy on the eve of independence. Okay, then let's move on to the next chapter, that is chapter 2nd. See, the chapter 2nd is Indian economy. Chapter 2nd is Indian economy from 1950 to 1990. Okay, so here you will be knowing about our Indian economic conditions, that is between the period from 1950 to 1990. 1950 ಇಂದ 1990 ತನಕ ಏನೇನು ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊತೀರಾ ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಗೋಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ 5-year plans. ಓಕೆ, ದ ಗೋಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ 5-year plans you will be knowing initially. Okay, see now we don't have this 5-year planning system in our country. Earlier we had this 5-year plan concept. Okay, so what are the different 5-year plans? What are the goals of 5-year plans? We have 4 goals of 5-year plan alva. Earlier ನಮಗೆ 5-year plans ಇತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರ ಗೋಲ್ಸ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ 4 ಇದೆ. ಯಾವ್ದು ಅಂದರೆ ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಮಾಡರ್ನೈಸೇಷನ್, then another goal is self-reliance. Okay, and another one is equity. You will be knowing in detail about this goals of 5-year plans. Okay, then we have the other concept in this chapter, that is agriculture. What was the agriculture condition, how it was? Okay, what was the revenue that we used to generate in this sector, that is in agriculture. Then we will be knowing about industry and trade. Okay, industry and trade. Then after that you will be knowing about trade policy. Trade policy. In that trade policy, you will be knowing about import substitution. Okay. See, the different modes of doing foreign business or foreign trade are, we can say that we have two. One is export and another one is import. Various methods are there. Here we will be knowing about import here. So one is export and another one is import. What do you mean by export? Export andre ಏನು ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, when you are selling our Indian products to the foreign market, okay, means you are having a foreign customers in other country, then we call that as what? Export. And another one is import. Import means what? Buying of foreign goods, okay, by our Indians. So ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಬೇರೆ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ನ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ದೆನ್ ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಟೇಕನ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಸೆಲ್ಲರ್, ಇಫ್ ಐ ಸೆಲ್ ಮೈ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ or a product or a service for the foreign market, then as a result there the foreign consumers or the customers are using it, then we call that as what? Export. ಅಲ್ವಾ? ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ವಸ್ತುಗಳು ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರಾಟ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ದಾವೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂದಾಗ, ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿಬೋದು? ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್. ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತೀರ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಸೊ ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶದ ವಸ್ತುಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಸೇವೆಗಳಂದರೆ ಸರ್ವೀಸ್ ಓರಿಯೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಸರ್ವೀಸಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಯಿತಾ ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶದ ವಸ್ತು ಅಥವಾ ಸರ್ವೀಸ್ ಸೇವೆಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಖರೀದಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ, ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ನಾವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಿ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಟು ಡೆವಲಪ್, ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಎ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಶುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಮೋರ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, and one more condition there is that we have to satisfy first our Indian customers. Our domestic country national should be satisfied with the products. Then if you are exporting our goods or service for other country, then that type of country can get a profit. Okay, it can develop further, we can say. So this is about the second chapter, that is Indian economy, that is from 1950 to 1990 we can say. So then the third chapter will be telling about after 1990 what happened in our country. Okay, so there was an introduction of very important policy, so that I will tell you now. Chapter 3, see from chapter 3 you will be considering that as unit 3, okay, third unit, that is economic reform since 1991. ಸೊ 1991 ಇಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ ನಾವಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಲಿಬರಲೈಸೇಷನ್, ಪ್ರೈವೇಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ರೈಸಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ 3 ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್? LPG we say, that is liberalization, privatization, globalization. Liberalization, okay, privatization and globalization. And globalization and appraisal. See here, we'll be knowing that this LPG policy or new economic policy was introduced in 1991 ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ 1991 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೀಗೊಂದು ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಮೇನಾಗಿ ಇಂಟ್ರಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ನಮ್ಮ ಎಕನಾಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ನ್ಯೂ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ, ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ. Okay, this economic policy nothing but LPG policy. LPG policy means what? liberalization, privatization and globalization policy was introduced during what? In which year? In 1991. So here you will be knowing about the changes and the concepts related to LPG here. So first you will be knowing about what is liberalization. Okay, how this liberalization concept is having an impact on different sectors in our economy you will be studying here. Then you will be knowing about privatization. Means even the private companies can do the business and it can sell the products to the customers and it can earn the profit and it can give a service for the customers. Okay, and the next one will be knowing about globalization. Okay, then after that you will be knowing about Indian economy during reforms. Indian economy during reforms. Okay, and assessment. So these are the topics, concepts we will be studying in this liberalization, privatization and globalization and appraisal chapter. Okay, then you will be knowing about the third unit. See, in this third unit you will be having a topic like current challenges facing the Indian economy. What are the different challenges that is faced by our country? Okay. So in that you will be knowing about chapter 4, that is about poverty. Okay, you will be knowing about poverty. What do you mean by poverty? See, poverty means it is a situation where the people are unable to get the basic needs like food, shelter and clothing. So that can be called as what? Poverty. See, it is one of the social problem that is faced by our country, we can say. So as a result it is having a adverse effect on our economy also. So here you will be knowing like who are poor. Okay, so who are poor you will be knowing. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಡವರು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಯಾರು ಈ ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಎರಡು ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನಪ್ಪ, 2 categories of people are there. One is BPL category and another one is APL. BPL means what? Below poverty line ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಅವ್ರ ಆರ್ಥಿಕತೆ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಲ್ವಾ, ಬಿಲೋ ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ ಲೈನ್. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಬಡತನ ಇದೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ತಿನ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಹಾರ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಸಿಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ BPL ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು APL ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಬವ್ ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ ಲೈನ್ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಹೌ ಆರ್ ಪುವರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈಡ್. ದೆನ್ ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪುವರ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನೋಯಿಂಗ್. Then what are the causes of poverty you will be knowing here. Okay, you will be knowing about what is poverty. Then what are the causes of poverty. Okay, so can you tell me few causes of poverty? Can you remember that? Yes, it is what? Huge population, that is large population size. Then unemployment. So these are the few causes of poverty. Further you will be knowing in the next classes. Okay, then policies and programs toward poverty alleviation. Policies and programs towards poverty alleviation. For poverty alleviation. Poverty alleviation means what? To remove poverty. ಬಡತನ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ತೆಗ್ದಾಕ್ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ, ನಾವು ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಬೇಡ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದನ್ನು ತೆಗ್ದಾಕಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಸೊ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪಾಲಿಸೀಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಅದನ್ನು ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾವ್ದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊತೀರಾ. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ knowing in detail about this programs which have been implemented in our country to remove this poverty problem. Okay, so this is about what? Fourth chapter, that is poverty. Then we shall move on to the 5th chapter, that is human capital formation in India. See, all these are the chapters that are coming after the economic reforms after 1990. Okay. Chapter 5 is what? Human capital formation in India. Human capital formation in India. Human capital formation in India. So in this chapter you will be knowing about what is human capital. Okay. What is human capital? So human capital means what? It is a part of population which possess, who will be having knowledge, skills, abilities, education and experience. That it can be called as what? Human capital. Okay. So it also includes the ability of human beings to give their best and ability to create a economic value of anything. ಸೊ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾರಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವೇ ಜನಗಳು ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಒಂದೊಳ್ಳೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ಅಲ್ವಾ, ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜಬಲ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಎಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಆ್ಯಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆ್ಯಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್. ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಾವು ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್, ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಎ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅವರ್ country which help for the further economic development. So that is known as what? Human capital. Then you will be knowing about the different sources of human capital here. Okay, what are the different sources of human capital? So human capital different sources ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್, ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಕೇರ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೀಸ್, ದೆನ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಜಾಬ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್, ದೆನ್ ಮೈಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್. ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ human capital we can say. Then you have the differences between what is human capital and what is human development. See, when we are having a human capital, we can have a human development, isn't it? So by giving them a proper training and by giving them a proper education, we can develop the human capital, isn't it? Then state of human capital formation in India. We will be knowing about state of human capital formation in India. Okay. Then education sector in India. How this education sector in our country we will be knowing. Okay. So this is about the 5th chapter. Then the 6th chapter is rural development. Sixth chapter is rural development. Okay. Chapter 6 is rural development. Okay. What do you mean by rural development? See, Mahatma Gandhi ji had said that if you develop the rural areas in our country, then we can have a nation's development, or our country, that is India, can be developed, isn't it? So here rural development means what? Improvement of socio-economic life of rural people by providing the basic infrastructures for the rural people, okay, which makes to engage them in productive activities, can be called as what? Rural development. Rural development ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ರೂರಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಹಳ್ಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜನಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ನ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್? Physical facilities like if you take for example rural children should have a proper school there, isn't it? So school ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, they can educate in a better way. Okay, so as a result one of the human capital source we can say, isn't it? Then after that we can say that in simple words the rural development refers to what? Overall development of rural economy. ಸೊ ರೂರಲ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ರೂರಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟಿಂದ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ರೂರಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊತೀರಾ ನೀವು ಅಂದರೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೂರಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಿಸ್ you will be knowing about credit and marketing in rural areas. Credit and marketing in rural areas. Okay, then after that agricultural market system. Agricultural market system. See, we know that in rural places on what type of occupation majority of the people are depending means that is on agriculture ಅಲ್ವಾ, ವ್ಯವಸಾಯ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಕರಿತೀವೋ ಅದು. ಸೊ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇಂಟು ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್. Diversification into productive activities. Okay, diversification into productive activities. ಸೊ ರೂರಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಈ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಬೇರೆ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆ ಕೂಡ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್, ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಹೌದಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಲ್ವಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸಸ್ಟೈನಬಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್. ಸಸ್ಟೈನಬಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್. And organic farming. So about this you will be knowing in the 6th chapter of part B. Okay, then we shall move on to the next chapter 7. Chapter 7. See, in this 7th chapter you can know about employment. Okay, here you can know about employment. Means here you will be knowing about growth, then informalization. Okay, informalization and other issues. So here you will be knowing about what is meant by employment. Okay, who are known as workers, what are the different types of employment like that. Then what is worker population ratio? What do you mean by worker population ratio? See, it is obtained by dividing the total number of workers of India by the population. So number of overall workers ಎಷ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ವರ್ಕರ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಏನು ಅದು ಅಂದರೆ it is a process where the companies or the employers are trying to take the workers without assuring the job security and other facility like without giving a PF facility, then gratuity, ESI, etc. That is known as what? Informalization. Okay, then you will be knowing about the jobless growth. Okay, then what is meant by unemployment? Unemployment means what? It's a situation where people are unable to get a job in the country. That is known as what? Unemployment. When the unemployment arises, so unemployment ಶುರು ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದರೆ ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ವ, ಬಡತನನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕೆಲಸನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ, ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅವ್ರು ತಿನ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಹಾರ ಸಿಗತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅನ್ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಓಪನ್ ಅನ್ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಸೀಸನಲ್ ಅನ್ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಅನ್ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಡಿಸ್ಗೈಸ್ ಅನ್ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಅಂಡರ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಟ್ರಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಈ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿಸ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ primary economy, secondary and tertiary. Okay, that is service sector we call. Then you will be knowing in this chapter about causes of unemployment also. What are the causes of unemployment? One is population explosion we can say, and another one is seasonal and backwardness of agriculture. Okay, then illiteracy, slow growth, lack of initiativeness from the government, low investment, etc. So you will be knowing in detail about the causes of unemployment also. Then you have a 8th chapter as infrastructure. Okay, so 8th chapter yaudappa andre infrastructure. Here you will be knowing about what is infrastructure. What is infrastructure? See, the physical facilities like electricity facility, if you take water facility, okay, then proper education system in schools, colleges, proper transportation means, telecommunication, etc. So if all these infrastructure facilities have been developing in our country, means we can say that even economic conditions will ಡೆವಲಪ್. ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಮೂಲ ಸೌಕರ್ಯದ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಯರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊತೀರಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಆಯಿತಾ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಎನರ್ಜಿ, ದೆನ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನೋಯಿಂಗ್. Okay, then after this we will be knowing about chapter 9, that is environment and sustainable development. Okay, chapter 9th is environment and sustainable development. Okay, environment and sustainable development. See, here you will be knowing about what is meant by environment, what are the different functions of environment. Okay, so what is environment basically? ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು, ಪರಿಸರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ. ಆದರೆ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದರೆ, ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಟೋಟಾಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ on the earth or a part of it can be called as what, environment. Or we can say that in other words, environment refers to what, physical surroundings, conditions, circumstances, etc. in which people live can be called as what, environment. In this you will be knowing about the functions of environment. Okay, then you will be knowing about what are the different strategies for sustainable development. Okay, use of LPG and gobar gas in rural areas, use of compressed natural gas, that is CNG, in public transport, then use of solar energy. Okay, so like this, by using these all these strategies we can have a sustainable development in our economy. Okay, then and the chapter 10, that is unit 4th, will be about comparative development experiences of India and its neighbors. Okay, you will be knowing in this chapter regarding what is the relation of our country, that is India, among the different countries in order to have a proper economic conditions. I'll continue in the next class. Thank you.